We have Luke Braun from Locked On Vikings because the Vikings made a couple picks here in the last few. They just took Ty Chandler, the running back from North Carolina, and Kainani Stevens is with Luke.
And Luke, you can probably weigh in because we've got an in-state player staying. Sezi Odumewu is going to stay in Minnesota from Minnesota, go to the Vikings. Do you like what they did there and keeping him around? And obviously, a lot of the running backs are going today, so that's an addition as well.
Yeah, Minnesotans will always love when they take a gopher, right?
Yep.
Otomewu is probably more of a defensive tackle than a defensive end. In a 3-4, the line gets blurred, but he'll play more inside. He's 280. That's kind of big for like one of these lanky, souped-up, bendy edge rushers. That's not his game. He's very toolsy, very traitsy, really good athlete. The problem is he's 23 years old, 5 years of experience. I don't know if he's going to put it all together, but that's the bet that they're making. So this is a guy that might have to spend a year on the practice squad, and then maybe he turns into something better than a 5th-round pick. That's sort of the bet you're making, but there's just as good a chance the dude just kind of never makes a team, flames out.
Right. I mean, we're at that point in the draft, right, where you're just kind of like, okay, maybe this will work, maybe it won't. You guys have 3 more, or the Vikings have 3 more picks. So where would you like to see them take a flyer? Who would you like to see them kind of go after at this point? Worth the risk.
I would love to see a tight end. Most of my tight ends are gone. There's one guy I really like, Austin Allen, out of Nebraska. He's more of a blocking tight end. I haven't given up on Jalen Wiedermeyer out of Texas A&M, even though he totally bombed the combine. But what I'm looking for in tight end is more balance. They have a guy like Ben Ellefson, who's a pure blocking tight end. They have Irv Smith, who's more of a pass-catching tight end, okay blocker. They need another guy that can do both things so that when you line up with 2 tight ends, it isn't a tell. I don't want a specialized tight end group. I want everybody to kind of be able to do a little bit of everything. I would love to see a flyer there, maybe a little more defensive line, maybe a wide receiver, a pass catcher, something like that. But down here, you're just kind of trying to find anybody who will make a team.
All right, a couple of different options there. We've been talking quarterbacks a lot just because it was such a weird year. Obviously, going forward next year and the next couple of years, there's some good quarterback prospects that are going to be coming up. Do you feel like the Vikings could be in play there? Obviously, it's early to tell, but maybe, trying to get their next guy.
2023 would be the year. This
Right.
is not the year. If you needed a quarterback this year, this is not the year to need a quarterback. They just stink. Sorry. They just aren't good. That's why they're all going in the 3rd round,
Exactly.
right? That next year is supposed to be a much better class with much more players. If the Vikings did want to move on from Kirk Cousins, they have set themselves up to kind of have a clean path out where he'll be in the last year of a contract. You just don't extend him. You let him play that out. You take a $12 million dead cap hit in 2024, kind of awkward, but not detrimental.
Okay.
And then you let Kirk Cousins walk, and then you have a quarterback that's been sitting for a year ready to take over. That would be the plan. Or I don't know. I mean, the Vikings like Kirk Cousins. They're not stuck in this guy that they hate. They extended him. They like him. Kevin O'Connell has worked with him. He likes Kirk Cousins. They think Kirk Cousins can win them a Super Bowl. I have a different opinion. But the Vikings are going to act as though Kirk Cousins is their franchise quarterback until something changes about that dynamic, as much as a lot of the fans don't want that.
Right. I think I'll definitely see where they end up in the draft next year, or if they're going to try to be aggressive. And we'll see how this season goes, right? We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Luke, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Got a couple more picks, so we'll keep an eye on things. Locked On Vikings, of course, for all of your draft coverage.